Hey my YouTube clan, how's everybody? So I'm in the workshop, a little later in the day than I had hoped, but it's warm enough and I've got a little time, so here I am. My first attempt to fixing holes. I'm gonna try and weld everything together. I've got my Hobart welder here. It's a MIG Handler 140. It's the largest one they make for 110 volt. Now, cool thing is I have 220 in the shop now, so when I'm ready I may upgrade to a 220. Basically all that'll let you do is weld thicker material in a single pass. For most of the stuff I do, this is okay, and for heavier things I've done 2 or 3 passes, but still with the bigger machine it usually has a longer duty cycle, meaning you can weld for a longer amount of time. But I'm quite happy with this. I've had a similar one for many years. And what I did, I have a shielding gas bottle on here. For those of you that don't know, when you weld, this shielding gas creates an oxygen-free environment around the weld puddle, so that basically it prevents oxidation after while you're welding and after you're done. But the thing is, you can't use that in a windy environment. And although I'm in an enclosed space, there are some gaps, some openings, and I've had issues in the past where I'm welding something in a very slight breeze. This is universal for very slight breeze. Blows, and the next thing you know your weld looks terrible. So what I did was I put on a spool of this, here, let's turn you. It's a gasless, flux coated. So this has a flux coating. It's either on or in the center of the wire, I don't remember. And as you're welding, that flux burns, and that creates a oxygen-free environment around your puddle. And that's what you would use in a place that's windy, if you're outdoors, etc. Just something to keep in mind. I did a little check. It looks like this is 22 gauge steel. I'm using 30 thousandths thick diameter wire. Sorry, that's Captain Kirk trying to get to me. And if you look on this chart, it tells you what settings to put your machine on, whether you're welding with no shielding gas or with gas, and if you're welding steel, stainless. So the thinnest material they tell you to use with 30 thousandths wire is 18 gauge. So I'm going for a thinner gauge, so I'll just have to play around a little bit with how I'm working the puddle to try not to blow through. We'll see how it goes. In the end, if that doesn't work, I may put the non-flux core wire back on, turn on the gas, and hope for the best, because I can weld thinner material with the gas. Alright. Oh, I'm glad I remembered. I have to change the polarity. When you're welding with a flux cord wire, you have to have the polarity set a certain way, and then when you're with solid wire with gas, basically you switch the polarity. So I'm gonna have to do that. Glad I remembered. That's universal for glad I remembered. So see, I'm a Starfleet officer. That's my phone. Anyway, let me do this setup. Maybe I'll just keep the camera on and you can see what I'm doing, and then let's try and do a little welding and then smashing out dents and the like. What do you say? See, so if you look here, it says electrode negative for flux cord wire. So the electrode negative, the electrode is what's coming off of here, because this powers basically goes, this is the electrode, and that'll go up your gun. It's making the wire your negative. Right now, the electrode you can see is at the positive, right? So that'll come off, and then this will come off. And they're not on there super tight. Or are they? Or are they? I mean, they have to be snug, right? But you don't want to kill them either. A lot of people think too, like welding with flux wire is really messy. It can be, but if you're careful, you get your settings right, it actually looks pretty good. And this is all going to be hidden, so I don't care that much. Alright, so I put electrode negative, right? And the other wire is going to positive. Let's snug that up. Alright, I got the other nut right here. I'm hoping once I get this place set up, I'll have like all the tools I need at hand for my welding. Alright, let me, I need both hands. I'm going to shut you off. I just wanted to show you what that was all about. I'll snug these down and we'll move forward. Alright, that's done. I've got my welding hood here. This was a gift from a friend. That's my friend Vaso, awesome tattoo artist in Greece. That's my other friend and happens to be her husband, DCB Lowbrow, doing custom motorcycle work and paint, also in Greece. Dino, custom business. I've got my cheater lens in there, so I'm wearing my reading glasses, but I'll take them off. I have a cheater lens in there. It's basically reading glasses. Type lens inside. Auto darkening, I have it on 10, highest sensitivity level and a quick delay. So I've got that on my head. I do have my welding jacket on, Miller I think, no affiliation, and my gloves are here. Before I start, this is an anti-spatter nozzle dip. It's for, you stick the tip of your gun in there and it keeps the spatter from sticking to the nozzle. So it's good for your hair as well. Not really. And so the settings in the machine, this is your voltage setting and this is your wire speed. It recommended the lowest voltage setting, so that's how much heat basically is going to be produced at the tip. And then the wire speed is how fast the wire is feeding into that. So if you go faster at what you're given heat or voltage range, it'll make it hotter because more material is being introduced at a quicker rate. Does that make sense? So it said 130. I'll try it there. See what happens. It's always a learning curve every time you weld something new. It's a suggestion. I'm going to wipe the spucca off my fingers. Let me put you on the, this is my other helmet. My first welding helmet from a Harbor Freight. Worked great. The headgear had broken at some point, but I got some off of a different welding hood and I made it work. Works pretty well. The, adjustable settings. I pinstriped it at one point when I was pinstriping. I kind of like it. I keep it around as an extra. But I noticed the helmet I'm wearing, this Sellstrom, Cobalt Sellstrom. It has a clearer and brighter field of vision than that one does, but that one still works well in a pinch. Alright, let me put you on the tripod and we'll get started. So first things first, I have a variety of hammers, pliers, wrenches, etc. I need to try and unbend this bent part. I don't know what, people think these are like BB holes, but to me it looks like somebody was hitting it with like a ice pick type something or a screwdriver. So I'm gonna try and straighten that out. I've been wanting to do this for a year without breaking it. sorry if that's loud. It would help if I had somebody on the other side, like a dolly, and I could hit against this, but I don't. So let's see what we can do. I have a slightly heavier hammer. That did it. So there's a big gap here, but I don't really care. As long as I can not burn through, I'll just fill that all up. You're not going to see this when it's done because I will have insulation over it, and on the outside I'll be painting, and I don't expect it to look perfect. You know what I mean? All right, let's set the welder up and give it a shot. I don't know that I want to weld with you there because it supposedly will ruin the camera. Maybe I can put the other welding hood over you. Let's see. Alright, quick but not so good update. With that flux cord wire, what was happening is blowing holes through. Can you see? I was trying to weld it and it just was melting the steel. And I was just trying to like spot weld it, but it wouldn't take. I'm not sure if, I don't think I have a bad ground. Everything's connected. You have to ground your piece, by the way. All that's happening is you're completing a circuit, right? So you got your ground and your positive of the electrode, or vice versa, where this becomes positive and the electrode becomes ground, and then when you touch, it's just completing a circuit and you're short circuiting that wire. Anyway, so I switched the wire back to the gas wire. I turned on my shielding gas. Do you want to see that? So over here, sorry, I'm not taking you off the tripod. So here's the tank. I open the tank fully, so I've got about 55 bars, or I don't know, 800 psi of, this is a CO2 argon mix. Right now it's at 22 psi, but when I hit the trigger, see here, that'll drop down to 20. Let me turn the machine on somewhere. So watch, when I'm gonna hit the trigger, that goes down to 20. That's about where I want it. So now every time I hit this trigger, that gas, it's odorless, colorless, is coming out of this nozzle and creating that oxygen-free environment I mentioned. Alright, so let's give that a shot. Before I do that, I'm going to take a wire brush and clean that up. Also, in case you're wondering, I did switch the polarity again of those wires. And what all this is that's the remnants of the flux. I'm just trying to clean that up. The reason I'm stitching this stuff up too is for weather. I don't want it to rain, have the rain get in here, soak the insulation, you know? Get what I'm saying? Alright, I'm going to turn this back on and give it a shot. I'll let you know how it goes. So that worked much better, but it's still not working great. It's ugly as heck. I'm literally having to like spot weld, come back, keep doing, like just building it up. So it's going to be like a big ugly scar. It's not making great contact. I don't know. There may be I don't know if there's a galvanized coating on this or something. I'm just going to keep plugging away, but check this out. So this looks okay, right? I went outside, and on the outside you could see that there are some gaps. Well, watch what happens when I turn off the light. This is me turning off the light. Ooh. Look at this. Can you see that's sunlight right there poking through? So I'm going to keep the lights off and hit these spots that the sunlight's coming through that I couldn't see otherwise. But I'm accomplishing what I'm setting out to do. Just want to make this water tight. And then other places, for example, where it's bent like this, when I try and straighten it out, there's that gap up there. I'll never get that sealed, so I'd like to get some silicone, and I'm gonna seal all the seams where I can see daylight. All right, okay, let me keep plugging away at that. I'll show you when I'm done. Looks to me like no more sunlight. A lot of these little shiny spots you see is that light reflecting off the high spots. Let's go take a look on the outside, see what we see. So this is the outside. See all these little marks again. I don't know if it was a screwdriver or I don't think that was a shotgun blast or anything, but who knows. So you can see right here, like this is peeled away, but they're attached now with all the buildup. And there's like a piece of wire. It's ugly, but it's sealed, right? So nice coat of paint on that. I mean, if I really wanted to too, I could fill it with a exterior kind of spackle, epoxy or something. All right, this is one of those, like the seams I was mentioning from the inside. I can seal. It's a big dent. So next, let's move on to that split right there. That I'm not going to weld. That's just going to be, I'm going to put a cover on that, a little silicone. You know, same thing with this probably. I'll just cut that and then put something over that. No need to weld that kind of stuff. All right, let's carry on. I've been banging on this from the inside. It's coming together. It's funny though, if you bang on it head on, it just bounces. So you gotta tap the lips. Before you do that though, can you see the mountains? Maybe. Hang on. Manzano Mountains. Beautiful. Oh, and if you ever need cheap nesting baskets for birds, those planters, you just hang them and they'll nest. There's a couple of birds that have a nest in there right now. I love birds. Okay, let's see what we got. There we go. I'll go back on the inside and tap that out. Looks like a forklift blade did that, doesn't it? This is gonna be fun. This is the one I'm most not looking forward to. See what happens. I'll hit it from the inside. Anyway, let's go back in. There we go. I think that's the best. Yeah, that's the best it's gonna get. I'm gonna weld that and maybe that, and then go back outside, because what's happening is this is popping in, popping out, popping in, popping out. Guess what this is universal for? Write that down. Tell your friends. All right, let's weld that and see what happens. It's ugly, but it's working. See how, so basically what I'm having to do is like little there, little top again, little bottom, and bridge the gap and then move my way across. And because it's all wonky, pushed in, pushed out, right? But it's sealing it. Looks like crap. Not my prettiest work. But again, I'm not going for looks right now. I'm just going for sealing it up, right? That's about as far as I got. It's sealed, it looks like it is, but when you go on the outside, you can see the interior light shining out. But now it's dark outside, or too dark to shut the lights off in here and see the sunlight coming through. So I'll have to save that for another day, but it's a good start. Got my feet wet, so to speak. I also went around just for fun. There were all these little screw holes here. So I went, like, see, that one looks a lot nicer than that because it was just a uniform hole on a flat surface. I was able to spiral in and fill it, right? So, all right, so that's it for today, but now we have an idea of what I've got ahead of me. There's not a whole lot of that. I got to finish up that one. I need to straighten that out. There are no tears in it. It's just bent. That was the one I showed you on the outside. It's bent beyond belief. Like that's bent in. I just got to push it out. This is a hole in the floor, but I've got some signage I can put over that. I'm going to do that over here as well. This was an ATM, I've mentioned before. I'll put a piece of steel over that. And I think there might be a couple of spots in this room. I'm sure there are. Maybe not. There's a bend there. That's bent. Oh, there it is. Right? There's that one. Yeah, that's about it. Was there one here? These were in the corner where I was just welding. I had taken them out before I started filming. Just didn't want them to catch fire. Yeah, that's about it. So we got to finish the one we did now. Work on this one. Knock out some dents. And then those screw holes I showed you, I welded. I think it'd be easier to maybe, like here for example, just as I'm siliconing gaps and seams, just a dab, because they're all over the place. You know, and that'll be easy to do if I shut the lights out in here, turn them off, and it's a sunny day outside. I can see all the light coming in. All right, that's where we're at. I'm gonna button all this up, unplug my machine, put my stuff away, and I'll bring you back when I start doing more. But yeah, we're on the way. Once that's all done, insulation in the other room, put the interior walls back up, and then I can start bringing the rest of my tools in here and move forward. Woohoo! It's a week later. I'm back at it. I want to fill in all the little pinholes there. I decided that I would like to go around the whole thing in all these smaller holes. I'd rather weld them shut than silicone them shut. Some of the issue I'm having, like the wind is blowing ever so slightly in here, so I'm having, like there's a pinhole right in there. It's just blowing the gas away, so I'm not getting really good penetration. It's good enough for what I'm doing. I hate doing things half-assed, but it is what it is. Also, I don't feel like going to get, if I got a spool of thinner wire, a gasless wire, but I don't want to spend the money. So I'm just gonna plug away. If you notice, because it's sunny outside right now, that's the sun that's outside. If I shut the light, you can see the pinholes. See all those little dots? So that's sunlight. So I'll fill those, and then I can easily see anywhere the sun is coming through. Alright, so I'm just going to go around and do that. I'll do this room first, and then I'll move on to this room, and then we'll be good to go. Alright, I sure wish I could film me welding, but I just don't want to ruin my camera. At some point maybe I'll set up a lens in front of this thing so you guys can watch. Until then, grab a cup of coffee or something. I'll be right back. So I'm pretty much done. That came out alright actually. I was able to put the pieces like in line with each other. Made a big difference. Filled in a bunch of little holes. Ugly, ugly. But what have you. I don't know if this is zinc coated. I don't know what it is. So the last few things I have, there's 1, 2, 3 holes there, and that's where the AC unit's gonna go. I want to take a measurement, see exactly how big that opening is, because I don't remember, because then I have a surprise for you. Ready? Surprise! My LG room air conditioner showed up. I ordered it, I think it was October. They had a 6 to 10 or 6 to 12 week lead time, but everyone else had it listed as discontinued. I called the company I got it from, so did Captain Kirk, and they said no, they can get it, it would just be 6 to 10 weeks. Then the very next day, the lady I spoke to contacted me and said if I ordered it right away, it would ship within a week. I ordered it within 30 minutes of her telling me, and I missed the window. So then it went back to 6 to 10 weeks. That was fine because I knew I had to work on the shop. And then my delivery date was December. That came and went. January, that came and went. February, that came and went. And then just the last couple days of February, I contacted them. And they told me, we're sorry, we made a mistake. It's discontinued. Let me triple check. They triple checked and came back and said it would arrive or ship out March 12th. Well, March 1st, February 28th, 27th, it showed up. So this does cooling and heating, 7,500 BTUs, 320 square feet. It was listed online as 360, but regardless, my shop is 240, so that should be fine. Nice thing is, it's got a Wi-Fi smartphone control, so I can turn it on and off in the house before going in. Warm the place up or cool it down as necessary, etc. So, what I want to do is, another reason I wanted it is I believe it was almost exactly or very, very close to the opening I have in the shop. So I don't have to do too much modifying. Let's open it up real quick and take some measurements. See what it says. America. Hopefully everything is as it should be, because I haven't opened it since receiving it. America's not America. There we go. America. Here we are. Zoop. Zoop. I'm hoping, I don't want to take it all the way out. I just kind of want to take a peek so I can measure filters, vents. That's the faceplate, I guess. Take that out. Ooh, I see some what looks like Thai writing on there. Sawadee-kap to all my friends in Thailand. Batteries, remote. And that's the front face. Let's see what else. Plug. It works on 110, by the way, which I had a dedicated 110 circuit put in the shop just for this. Alright, there we go. That's the back. Okay, this seems quite a bit bigger than I envisioned. Let's take our handum damdum tape measure. What do we got? Roughly, oops. Good old Harbor Freight. 13. Can you see that? Am I making you dizzy? Okay, hang on. I'm gonna put you down. Take my word for it. $12 and a half by, I'll show you this one. 12 and a half by, come on. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna lose it right now. 12 and a half by 18 and a half. Can you see that? Maybe, maybe not. 12 and a half, 18 and a half. Remember that. Let's go out to the shop now. I'm hoping you can see. The reason I want to measure this is these holes down here, these, I don't want to weld them and then find out I have to move that brace, the bottom brace down. You know what I'm saying? So, because then there'll be lumps there. So let's see what we got. A little bright, sun's in my face. Look at that. 13 and wow, 14 and a quarter. So I have plenty of room up and down. Let's see this way. 20 and an eighth. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy right now. I don't have to modify that because that would have included cutting, re-welding those braces, whichever ones would have needed it, then cutting the exterior hole, and then cutting the interior wall hole, all doable. But now that thing can just slide into place. It looks so much bigger than this. Wow, yeah, I can slide right in, and then I can put some you know, foam or something around it and be done. I want to double check, I don't trust it. Look at that, 20 and a quarter, 20, no, 20, and I said 18 and a half, and 14 and an eighth, and we said 12 and a half. That's beautiful. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and let me show you. I'm going to go ahead and weld these holes shut, and then I'm done with the welding. All right, I'll bring you back as soon as I'm done. Well, I'm done. Boom, boom, boom. Man, this stuff, like, my welds just wouldn't attach. And then I look up and this is on fire. Like, you ever hear the thing like returning where you're from? Fire, fire, fire. Yeah, all this plastic started melting and the tape. I was like, oh, what's that? So put that out, thankfully. I was worried because there were remnants of insulation in places, and then there was some behind that wall. But yeah, welding is done. I'm happy about that. I have a little bit more time today. I think I may take a hammer and start pushing in or out like these various spots that are bent, just for the sake of trying. And this one corner is the one that most concerns me, mainly because of you know, I don't want to have the weather get in, obviously. So let's see what I can do there. Let's try that. So this is going to be really tricky. I've got a bevy of hammers. I love this thing, but it's not what it's intended for. Rubber mallet, the ball peen, and this mamma jamma. Now if I was the Hulk, I would just go, but I'm not. I know you think I might be, but I'm not. How do I approach this? Let's see. I wonder if I put like a, I shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna. Just bounces. There's some bolts here that I could undo. I wonder if I push that out. Oh, ooh, I cussed. Big bleeping wrinkle right there. Huh. So I think it would help if I take these hex head bolts out. They're like these. But this is closing up, you know. If I bring this out too, no, that's not it. Ooh, I broke my beautiful hammer handle. Dang it. What about this one? No. But if I can bend this flat, right? And then put some self-tappers. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna pass on that one for now. Which other ones do I have? Got this one. This corner right here. Let's see what I can make happen. I'm just trying to square, believe it or not, that up. That won't budge. It's more, again, it's square it up a bit also, like down there. That's not flush, so let's see if I can do that. Just a little. There we go. I'm happy with that. Got a little bit about the same thing going on down here. It's pushed in, but from the inside you can see made this gap right here. If I can close it, I'm okay with that. Nice. Huh. Let's take a walk together and see what's left. Top on this side, gosh, I would really love to straighten all that out. I don't know how successful I would be. Maybe I'm not going to do it today, but I may be able to unbolt it, you know, just put it on the ground and try and hammer it as flat as possible. I know it won't be perfect, I just don't want it pushed in. That's okay. On this side, I think the bottoms are good. Over here, just to this spot. Let's go inside and smash that. Smash! I'm gonna hold you in my hand while I do it. Oops. I don't want to hit that because that's live. Because I want to pull that gap together. That may just have to do, I don't know. I'm just not sure. I mean, there's no way I'm ever gonna make it great, right? It did straighten this out. It was worse, actually. So I think now what this will allow me to do is I'd like to put some silicone between the joints. All right, I think I'm gonna call this video a day at this point, because my biggest concern was welding all those holes shut, which I've done. So now that corner, I'll play with it, but just not today. But I want to put the video out, so I'll play with that. I'll film that perhaps when I do it. Excuse me. and try and push that out a little bit more. And then the very next step is insulation. I have almost all the insulation for this room. I'll buy some new insulation for this room. And then those are the inside walls for here. And those are the inside walls for in there. We can insulate, put the walls up, and then move more stuff in here. And when the weather's warmer, I want to paint the outside. But that's it for today. What do you think? Let me know if you have any comments, questions, what have you. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me. And I'll talk to you soon. Take care, folks. Air conditioner spot, perfect.